Hi, everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit today about self-doubt. That is a little bit of a monster, I will say, that has raised its little head. And I'll say little because I've been doing a bunch of work around self-doubt, but it raised its little head the other day. I was doing a webinar for my teacher. I'm part of her larger community, and we do monthly webinars. And a colleague of mine and myself, we were doing live animal communication readings in the webinar, and another one of my colleagues was watching, and afterwards she said to me that we both did a great job and it was really fun to watch. And she said, but it was really interesting because there was a point in the reading where I could see that self-doubt had crept back in, and you weren't 100% sure if what you were saying was going to resonate, and you kind of got thrown off a little bit. And I thought, you know what, you're right. And what's so interesting is that it's not a bad thing. Like self-doubt, not a bad thing. Anger, which is another wonderful, wonderful thing I'm working with. Who knew even that we had so much anger, or I had so much anger in us? And that's another video. But they're not bad things. They're just flags. They're just the universe going, hey, there's something squishy here. You can kind of dive in a little bit deeper and understand what's going on with all of that. But what I thought was really, really cool was that the animals, because I was having animal communication readings or doing animal communication readings at the moment, the animals helped raise that flag for me and say, hey, look right here, you're not quite believing that what we're saying to you is going to resonate, so you're hesitating for just a second. And so it's kind of, for me, that self-doubt is like a flag of like, oh, there's a little bit more work to do around trust. There's a little bit more work around letting go. So what is super cool to me is that, yes, the animals raised the flag of self-doubt. And then with soul level intuitive coaching and the work that I've done there and that I do with clients on that as well, the tools that I have to understand that self-doubt is also a little flag for me to still continue working on that negative belief of not worthy that I continue to work on, and to find a little workaround in self-doubt. And then how can I be aware of when I begin to doubt myself? What can I do? How can I be, first of all, be aware of it, but then how can I, when I feel the little pricklies down in my stomach, when I feel those little prickles of self-doubt, oh, okay, just sit and be aware of it. And that is enough to help start to clear and move things around. Also, what I think is super interesting is that I Googled self-doubt and archangels, and there's a whole host of archangels that can help, including Ariel, who's one of my personal favorites with her connection to nature, who can also help me work through the self-doubt. So since that happened a couple weeks ago, what has been even more interesting, it just keeps going. What's been even more interesting is I'm even more aware of when I self-doubt myself. And I had no idea. Some of you may know I love to bake. I love to make pies, and I love to play with like different recipes and different fruits I've never heard of before. I can make some really cool, fun pies, and I can make them vegan too, by the way. Anyway, but what I've been even finding is that there's little self-doubt creeps into making pies or hanging out with Lucas. So it's just kind of interesting how the animals kind of raised a little flag of self-doubt. Thank you to my colleague for noticing and calling it out. The animals called it out too. And then being able to work through some intuitive coaching, understanding that, oh, not worthy, still got some work to do, and how we can move forward. So if you have any self-doubt issues, I'd love to hear about them, how they creep in for you, what you notice about them. Are the animals even leading you there? What are you doing to be aware of them? Share with me. Let me know. Love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day. Less self-doubt, hopefully, but who cares? Use it as a flag, and have a great day.